Well, here we are at the entryway of the garden. It's pretty windy, so I hope you can hear me. This part here, this section has been all dug up. And planted here is lilies, liatris. As we come in, there are dahlias and elephant ears right on up. And over on this side, same thing. And it's pretty well planted. Over here is the spice garden. And I pulled mint out of this second and third section. And this part here is all deminted. Not de-weeded, but deminted. And this part here is not. That's all mint that you're seeing. Little blue flowers are forget-me-nots. And you have violets. And they're just pretty. And that's all the crawling mint right there. This is a Greek mint growing in a kind of a circular little herald, and I wondered if there wasn't a pot underneath there holding it. But that's a Greek mint right there, and it's not spreading all over the place. It's trying to down here, but we'll catch it. And it, for the most part, is in a nice round mound. And over here, I've already pulled out a lot of mint. And this is that kind of mint that's going to spread all over. So we're going to pull it all out and put it in pots so that it can't do this to us again. And well, there's enough asparagus for another din-din. And we've got a few plants out here. Well, we got strawberries, and I thought I'd pot those up. Forget-me-nots in the garden with the violets, and these happen to be behind it are lily of the valley. Here's one of those giveaway flowers. And down here we have, looks like mint, but this is lemon balm. Tastes just like lemon. This is one of the larger hostas. It's called Sun and Substance. It's a big plant. Take one of those down to Jean. And that looks like a peony, but it's not. It's a tulip in the peonies. Well, a lot of people don't know that that peach tree is the one that's up for dedication. Right. And look at somebody put a little flag on it. Let's go over here. It's right in front. If you look at take a shot of all the garden front so that you can see where we are here. We're at the entryway of the garden. There's the gate, you go in. Yeah, and then over here to the right here. Well, this right here, this is a Reliance peach tree. And this was the peach tree Lynn and Harold bought it over at Moody's.
And one of his favorites, too.
Okay. Yeah, so this was bought to dedicate to Paul Ladakakos. And, so when we were at the meeting, we were talking about when we're going to do the dedication. Of course, we had other things to talk about. We made the vote so that we're going to have the rest of the meetings all here at the garden. Now, that's a big relief to me because you've got to call over the police station and you have to make appointments to have it for a meeting.
And in the summer, they're very, very busy.
Yeah, they're busy and they vote you out because they have to use it for more important reasons, and then there you are with no place. Why would it be that way when we have a garden that we can put it? Yeah, we don't have any questions. And if it is going to rain, we just say a rain date, and it would be the following day or the following day. You know, but yeah.
Same time, same station.
Right. So the next meeting was going to be, well, it still is, June 25th.
The last Wednesday of the month.
Yeah, the last Wednesday of the month.
At 6 o'clock.
Right.
Here at the garden.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is the tree, and when you come to the garden, you'll see that this is the tree, and we're waiting for Carol, the wife of call who's going to decide when the family will get it together, and they have a plaque with his name on it and everything. So we don't know when the dedication will be yet. But that's the tree, and that's what's going on there.
And Harold and Lynn are the ones that went and got it and planted it.
Yep.
And they're making the arrangements with Harold as when they're going to do it.
Yep. Good. Okay, that's good.
There you go.
Okay. Well, the gardens are just looking so good. And I like to look at some of them, but there's a striking one back here. This plot must not have been taken. It's all weeds. But, here's a cute little thing. Look at that. It got peas and a little climber to climb up. That's very good. That this woman has said to never had a garden before, and she read books. And we all looked at this garden and we're amazed at how excellent it is. This is a pretty cute little garden, and everything's in order. And there's her peas going up, climbing. And it's hard to think that somebody doesn't. They do know she's got marigolds to deter bugs. Everything. It's a cute garden. He's got the numbers on him, and I don't see a number on this, or I'd tell you what it is. But it's way down here by the shed. We'll go in. Well, there's the calendar, and the next meeting is June 25th at 6 p.m. So we'll have to write that on the calendar, and we'll also send out little notes before it happens. And it was voted that we will have the meeting at the garden. So there's no police department, no school, library, no ballpark, but right at the garden in our shed. And another thing that we can do is for disabled people or people who can't walk all the way down to the shed, there's a driveway down there, and I'm going to check it out myself. I think you can drive your car, I'll check with Harold, and pull it right in there and park. And all the able-bodied people can park in the regular parking lot at the garden and come up. But that's where we'll have our meeting. That's a relief. I'm glad about it because I'm relieved about not having to call the police department, because then they call us back and they say, well, we have an event that superseded your date, so we're going to have to cancel you. And it's such a hassle that it's just easier. If we always have it at the garden, we always know it's at the garden, no problem. The only time we really can't have it at the garden is early spring, because we have so many new members, so many new people, that it's a lot of people, and they need to get organized good. So we need, a big place that can hold a lot with good bathrooms. So we'll do the police department early in the spring every year, a couple of times, and then it's going to be the garden every time. So that's a relief. Okay. The next thing we want to do is have notebooks. And I'm going to go over here and sit, and if you can just follow me with that camera. And I went over to the dollar store, and this is sheet protectors. You know those things? And I got 10 of them for $1. So, and I got a notebook. But if we made books so that we all have the very same thing, it should be a pretty simple matter. I'm just putting these in a folder for now, but I suppose a little notebook would work out. If you have any ideas at all for keeping a notebook for the community garden, we should all have a little notebook all the same. And, of course, one of the first things everybody was given is your rules. Right here, you should have a copy. You should have your receipt of payment, because you are our revenue keeper. That's how we get our money to run the garden, is from you with your $25. That's where our revenue comes from to run the garden with. So you need your receipt that you paid your $25, and you need your regulations. This is pretty neat. 15 rules. Every now and then something comes up, you can refer to it. You need a copy of that. Now, at the last meeting, I gave everybody, because I thought this was so fascinating, it's a soil test from the University of Maine, and it shows all kinds of things here: potassium, calcium, magnesium, iron, copper, boron, zinc, all the marvelous things that are in soil. And I thought, boy, this is real educational. Everybody ought to have a copy of it. And I'm not sure which plots it was taken off of, because our plots are going to vary a little bit. But as a general rule, this is it. And it shows these are the things that we need, and the additives, and here's some general information things. So there's 2 sheets that go with the soil test, and if you want them, you can go down to the shed by the library, ask Harold for a copy of the soil test, because I had a whole bunch of copies run off. And when we were at the meeting, there were only about 12 people there, so we passed them out to those people, but I have a whole bunch left, and you can get a copy of the soil test. So that's a neat thing, because we're going to be studying it. What we decided at the meeting is that everybody's got their plants in already, and we can't just dig up everybody and say, oh, you have to put in lime, you have to put in this stuff. So we decided we'll wait until the fall, and we'll re-till and mix all the amenities in it and balance it up then. But it is needing some things. It is needing some lime, and, you know, it needs, I think it needs manure in general. But anyway, we'll fix these amenities by the soil test by the fall. So that was what it was decided on doing. So that's what we have. We have the soil test, the regulations. Oh, here it is. It's these 2, soil testing referral sheet. And here's another one that's a good thing to have that you probably don't have. I'll probably make this up. This is plots 1 through 48. And it's got the names of them all. So if you're in the garden and you happen to be talking to someone, and you happen to be talking to Ruby Joyce, who I am, you go to your little map here and you say, oh, plot number 16, that's where she is. And you can go check on their garden and see what they're growing, and kind of get a relationship of the name with the plot, you know, and get so you know everybody. But this is a neat little thing to have. It's hard to know everybody. I'm still having trouble. Every time I see someone, I say, oh, hello, but I'm not really sure who they are. So that's a little problem we have. And it's nice to know who everybody is. So this is the start of our folders and our books. And the reason we want everybody to have a book that's pretty much alike is because we want everybody to know exactly what we're doing. One thing we have to have every year is we have to have our 5 officers, especially the chair, the co-chair, the treasurer, and the secretary. Those positions have to be had every year by somebody, and we change every year. And we have to have them. So if you have a book that you're keeping, you kind of know where everybody else is that has their books, and you're keeping up with everything, and you're seeing how it is. We're going to have a new page come out, and it's going to be pages called job description of the chair, the treasurer, the vice chair, and the secretary, and it gives all the things that the duties that they do, so you can see what they have to do. And then they are going to have kind of like a diary and show you exactly what they do, so that they only spend a couple hours a month on what they're doing. And it becomes easy. We want it to be just so easy that anyone can do it, because we want to keep our gardens. We've got to have officers. We have to have people who understand everything that's going on and get right in there. And so that's one of the reasons. It's also nice to know everything that's going on. And you meet a lot of people this way, so we'll just keep plugging along at it. And then I'll see you, I guess, next week on Wednesday, and we'll put another tape out. Bye-bye.